Hey, what's up, guys? Mic check, guys. Let's get a quick mic check. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I'm ready to rock. If you guys are ready to go, I'm ready to go. Let me know if we got good, clean audio. As always, the weekly sound check sound. It is Sunday. We ready to rock, guys? Can you hear me? Awesome. Thank you, Luciano. Average Joe investor in the house. What's up, buddy? Thanks for the support. Thanks for hopping in, bud. How are you? All right, guys, I think we're ready to rock. What about you? I'm ready to do this. Let's dive right into it. We are a little bit early, but that's all right. Has to be expected. 12 people ready to rock, so I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to do this damn thing. Robin, how we doing? Alexander, XXX16. Right back at you, bro. What a good week, man. Look at me with a hat on. What a scrub. What a good week, huh? Damn. One of those I was just like, oh man, markets were red. We got to buy all the stocks this week. We got to write all the puts this week. Jeez. I got out of my Grinchness and got out of my Grinchness. Put up Christmas lights today. Check my Patreon link. What's wrong with the Patreon link? You mean in my description? What do you mean? What do you mean? Neil Smith, welcome, bud. Now you can play around in the chat if you'd like. Oh, let's see what's wrong with my page. Where is my edit video? Let's say, oops. Did I just lose everybody? Oh my gosh. No, okay, I'm still here. Patreon.com/BradFinn. Looks good to me. Goes to 404. Let me click it. Let me see. Check out. Thank you. Technical difficulties, guys. Appreciate it. Let me just get into that quick. I will update that with whatever the hell's going on with the damn Patreon app. So if I go to my page, Patreon, I'll put it in, and then you let me know if it's being wacky. Still. I'll just do this one for now. Copy. Let me know. Let me know if that one works. Did that even link up? No, that didn't even link up. What a bastard. I don't know what's going on with it. Patreon.com/BradFinn usually is the one. I apologize. That'll be on me. I just won't get any Patreons today. You could find me if you need me. You know where I am. Paste. Let's try this. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, because my name pops up. Whatever. Am I talking in two different chats right now? What is going on? I'm so confused. All right, guys, get some questions in there. Let's rock. We got one voicemail from Luciano, who's in the house tonight. If you have any voicemails and you want to leave them, please, by all means, do so. It's adding. Oh, well, I don't know what that means. So yeah, if you got some voicemails, I do plan on sticking around tonight. I got a couple beers. I took a vitamin gummy. I'm ready to rock. Let's do this. I definitely want to do like a preamble to my wheel video this week. Currently, right now, I'll just jump in. Maybe we'll just start with that quick. Show you where we're at with the wheel. I know everyone's always interested in that stuff. So let me get this going here. So looking at the good old portfolio here are the two puts for this week. So expiration, I got a couple of things expiring this week. We got Affleck, Cisco, Intel, and this Piton disaster. We're also messing around with a Starbucks call this week, but that's part of a poor man's covered call. We have a WBA call. So it's going to be a busy week, as well as the regular things that I have going on. So Cisco, VTI, I need to rewrite a call for that. Those are monthly, so that expiration is December 17th. So I got to get that in. Hopefully we'll get a green day in the market before then so I can write some calls. Intel, as I mentioned last week and a little bit in the video, I'm probably, and in my Discord as well, I'm probably not going to write a call on Intel this week. Ex-dividend date is up for debate. I think it's on the 15th, Wednesday. Some people are saying the 12th. Regardless, it's next week. So if this was a put situation, I would dive into it this week, right? The money, try and get a sign, get those dividends. But I'm not going to risk, even at a very, very small delta, I'm not going to risk getting that Intel position taken away. So I'm going to stick around for the dividend, ex-dividend date for that. Foot Locker, I got a sign last week on that, so I will be writing some calls against that next screen day. Camping World was assigned on that last week, so I'm going to be writing some calls on that. And I mean, I already have a Smith & Wesson. I didn't close it? No, I have it right here. I already have a Smith & Wesson put at 1750. There is a very, very, very good chance that I am going to be writing some more puts on that this week. This is absolutely ridiculous, and this is kind of like the markets that we're dealing in right now. But like, look at this. They come out. They don't have terrible earnings right now. They're on a stock volatility warning. Look at this shit. Like, how does like this is ridiculous. And I remember it dropped to like here. Actually, no, it was like dropping after hours. And I was talking to some people that I know have a 1750 as well as me, and they're like, I think the 1750 is safe. And then it just kept on going and kept on going. I'm probably gonna write right at the money. I'll take this at $16 all day. I don't know. We'll see if it goes down. But we'll see what happens in the markets this week. But that's really what's going on in the markets. I also, if I think about like other investments and things that are going to be happening this week, during the Christmas season, I tend to be a giver. So instead of investing in myself, I try and take care of other people in December. And full disclosure, like the people in my Discord saw that post of how I took care of that waitress, and that's not something I posted publicly. I still don't want that posted publicly because I don't want anybody to ever question the authenticity of that. But that's the kind of stuff that I like to do in December. So really, no dividends stuff, no real buying dividends. My $50 in Bitcoin is going to come out tomorrow on Monday like it does every single week. But mostly just going to be messing around with the wheel. I mentioned on the Average Money podcast, the episode that's coming out tomorrow, how much I'm love being back doing the wheel strategy and things like that. I genuinely missed it. I love the poor man's covered call, but I genuinely missed the wheel. And now that it's just Action Jackson, it's like it's 12 to 15 stocks and plays every week. It's just dope. I just really like it. So, yeah, it's good. It's good to be an investor. I think I was mentioning too, oh man, I guess I talk to a lot of people about money these days, but I actually, when you invest in value stocks, you don't notice like last week. Everyone was talking about like markets are bloody and there's blood in the water and this, that, and the other thing. When you invest in value stocks, you want red. Simple as that. Like if we go back and look at some of these stocks that I invest in, that I'm doing the wheel with, I mean, Smith & Wesson is one of those. Like, this is severely undervalued right now. It's severely, in my opinion, guys, this is all my opinion, severely undervalued. So when I see this excites me. Earnings wasn't that bad. And it's coming off a COVID year where everyone was buying up guns. Prop guns, that is. Sorry, YouTube. Prop guns. And whether the tragedies of last week affected this sell-off a little bit in conjunction with earnings, who knows? But when the media comes out and affects stock price, that is great. That is awesome. Like if these other things that are like down, like Cisco, Intel, Foot Locker, Walgreens, like all of these things, Camping World, these are all stocks that I considered like an amazing value right now. So maybe it was just like because I was so happy last week that I didn't like realize that other people like, oh my God, what's going on? Like even HBQ is on a run, but I've kind of stayed away from them for a little bit. But still, like Carnival Cruise Line, still an amazing value. Vuzi, under $10. I am very excited about that. I mean, I'm well leveraged into Vuzi, so I'm not really going to be making any more plays. But yeah, like last week was a great week. Even getting assigned on these. Like, it was awesome. I was pumped about it. So, and then, like I said, the other side is if you look like I'm a dividend investor now because I'm going to probably retire in the next year or so. So we love dips that raises dividend yield and cost on yield. And I got these value stocks. It's like, yeah, let's go red for a little bit longer. I don't need my investment money. You know, I'm a long-term investor. Today's lows and today's highs are next week's low, whatever it is. I got to find this meme so I can quote it more properly. Everyone's saying like the likelihood of getting a positive return on a one-day investment is like 50-50. 10 years is like 60%. And like 20 years is 100%. It's like, yeah. And even with all these, like, guys, remember, $22,000 of this portfolio, over half is VTI. That's another thing. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, you're wheeling so much. You're YOLOing your option plays. I have 100 shares of VTI in a $41,000 portfolio. That's half of my portfolio is wheeling index funds. What up, hon? Damn right we're making some money this week. Making money every week. Love it, love it. Oh, man. Yeah, Diego, I hear you, man. Robinhood does that. And they're not the only brokerage that does that. I think more times than not that things like that are going to protect you more than hurt you. You got kicked in the ass this time. That sucks. I feel for you. But a lot of the times that's there to help you. And with all due respect, if you're here every week, you know. I don't want to say like you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, because that's just rude, and that's not my style. But you know how I feel about Tesla. Tesla's like messing with the varsity cheerleading captain girl. Probably gonna get your heart broken. You might have a couple great weekends, but you're probably gonna get your heart broken in the long run. Just made that up right now. I'm gonna use that again. Tesla's like the captain of the cheerleading team. Just a heartbreaker. If you got some swag and some ego, you might have a good couple weeks, but at the end of the day, she's gonna be hitting up your best friend soon. NASDAQ futures down 1.7. I got good down. I love down. Get in my belly. Down. Get in my belly. Let's take care of this voicemail in case we get some more in here, because I know Luciano's here, so in case he's got to get the F out of here. Thank you so much for the voicemail. I think this is your second time leaving a voicemail, maybe even third time, and I appreciate that. Like, you got questions, press record on your phone. Yeah. So this is a good question, Luciano, about hedging against the current market.
Hey, Brad, it's Luciano from the Great White North. Once again, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. I wanted to ask a quick question around the topic of portfolio hedging. As you know, this year's been quite a bull run. And as we saw last week, these thoughts about hedging, do we limit our exposure to the markets, or do we potentially have a hedge out there? What do you use? I asked my friends what they think about hedging, and they basically tell me to stop it. Good to know. And so I just wanted to know your thoughts.
What the heck was that at the end there? Thanks for the question. Since Hun's here, I'm going to have a shot of whiskey, because I know that he can't punish me with the super chat because this channel's not monetized. Let's go. Happy Sunday, guys. Okay, so to the question at hand. Oh, I guess I can't clip this to the main channel now. Whoops-a-daisy. Now, you want to know what I'm doing it anyway? See this tomorrow, Monday. Brad Finn. I think what's a hedging? Hedging is a fancy word for what? Diversification, yeah? So, as much as I would say it's important to hedge against the market, I would just as easily say diversify yourself in the market, not only outside the market, but inside the market as well. And I can't tell people how to diversify because everyone's situation is different. I had an amazing conversation about NFTs yesterday at a gathering with friends. And it was a guy that was into digital art. Now, I know NFTs goes beyond digital art, but he's been an artist his whole life. making comic books and sketches and things like that. Been like one of those guys that just made art. Like you thought he was going to be like a tattoo artist or an artist. And he was talking about how NFTs is the greatest thing that's ever happened in his career. And he thought that I was going to judge NFTs and things like that. And pretty much what I said to him, I was like, listen, like I was never into fine art or art in general at all. I would never invest in art. It's not something I'm into. So like, why would I care about NFTs now? It's kind of like when people say like, oh, Ecuador brought on Bitcoin as their natural currency. Like we cared what their natural currency was before. Like it doesn't matter. Just because you hear somebody wins $1 million scratch-off ticket doesn't mean you should go buy one. And that's how I feel about NFTs. But he's raking. Not to mention, I believe a lot of it's washing money. If it's like these over $1 million, I'm just saying I think people are going to wash their money with that. But that's just one. People are doing many different things outside the market. I have a video coming out whenever it's a sponsored video, so it's going to be, I have to get it approved, but some things that I want to do, like I want to diversify away from this bull market that I think is going to continue to be a bull market because I don't have any other indicators besides history to suggest otherwise. I'm going to be jumping. I want to invest back in businesses. Since I sold the brewery off, I'm like, I miss business so much. Tara and I were over there on Friday just looking at the growth, talking numbers with Chris, my ex-partner. And it's just like, I miss business. I really, really miss business. I want to invest in startups, but it's so like, it's like risky in a small sense. Like when you invest in startups, you know that 60% of them are going to fail. So you kind of need like 10 startups and hope that the 40% does really, really well. It's kind of like a ETF. Like you can't just, I think if you invest in one startup, that's like putting all your eggs into one stock. So that's like one way I want to diversify. I've made videos this year. I started investing in fine wines. I'm not into fine art, but I am into fine wines. I like wine and I like the investment of liquids. I have a ton of rare whiskeys and a ton of rare beers. Like that's the way I diversify. Cryptocurrencies, another way. I don't dabble in like the altcoins and all of it. Like I strictly have Bitcoin. I don't even own any Ethereum. I had Dogecoin for a little bit, but I'm an idiot. And because what I learned from Dogecoin, I stayed away from Shiba Inu. You know, so if your question is this, Luciano, like, should you worry about this bull run? My answer is no, because the bull run continues until the crash happens one day, tomorrow, a year, 10 years from now. It doesn't matter. And we also know, and this is not an opinion, this is a fact, that you are more likely to get your ass kicked in the market by missing days than by waiting for new days, right? Time in the market beats timing in the market every single time long run. If you invest in things like Rivian and Bros, the coffee company, and I'm not going to say the T word, in Lucid, like that might not be a good day for you. But if you're investing in regular blue chip, fundamentally sound companies that generate a cash flow over time, that cash flow grows, that revenue grows, their dividends grow, they start buying back shares, so we don't need to worry about it. You just get in. Now, granted, yes, it goes in cycles. I'm not saying we're never going to go to a bear market. Just, I don't know. So, like I said, I dabble in other things. This is kind of why I got back to dividend investing when I got away from it. And then everyone's like, that doesn't make any sense because you want to diversify. And I'm like, that's right. Like, why should I get completely out of something? I want to be sprinkled everywhere. Real estate, options trading, and the call on the wheels, VTSAX and VTI all day, a little bit of crypto, some business, some liquids. Just diversify. That's all hedging means. Just diversify. And know that if you're worried about one particular area of your entire, that's why they call it a portfolio, because it should be like this. And if you're worried about one like particular part of your portfolio, you're over leveraged there. And that doesn't mean you made a mistake. It happens. I realized a couple of months back that I was severely over leveraged in Apple. Like crazy. So I got rid of some leaps and I kind of like just dwindled it down. I wasn't an idiot. It got away from me. So like if you're worried about your crypto or you're worried about the crypto market in general, I couldn't even tell you what Bitcoin is right now. Couldn't even tell you. And I'm buying it tomorrow. I couldn't even tell you what it is. And with Bitcoin, right, it could be 65, it could be 45. I have no fucking idea. So, I mean, you stay the course. You know, I think the best hedge is having a plan long term. All of that babble that I just said, if I can say like the best hedge is having a plan and sticking to it and not being emotional. And I think JJ proposed this question. He's like, if Bitcoin dropped to 10 grand tomorrow, it crashed from wherever it is in the 40 to 60 range to 10 grand tomorrow, are you worried? And if the answer is yes, you shouldn't have any Bitcoin. You shouldn't. If the answer is, oh my God, I'm going to be so happy, I'm probably going to stay home from work and look for ways to get money to buy more Bitcoin, you might have made the right decision. Or you're like me, if it drops to 10 grand this Monday, you dollar average down. You know? It's all about having a plan. It's all about, hey, regardless of whether the market goes up 30% or down 30% tomorrow, I know on January 1st, I am buying $6,000 of VTSAX inside my Roth IRA. No questions asked. It's actually going to be on the 2nd because I think the 1st is a weekend, Sunday. Like, that's my hedge. You know, knowing that I'm going to max out my 403B or my 457 in the first 3 months of the year as my employee-sponsored fund, that to me, regardless, that to me is my hedge. To have $150,000 in cash sitting on the sideline for a really good real estate investment property, or for an angel investment into a startup, that's my hedge. I hope that makes sense. You know, I don't know. I think sometimes I can sound like I hate growth stocks or I hate this, that, and the other thing. I don't. I just think that sometimes people focus too much on that and they don't think about the plan. Like, what is your plan? If someone says, like, what is your personal finance plan for the next 365 days, and you can accurately state what that is, that's your hedge. You're protected. If you know your plan, you're protected. Right? We talk about in options all the time. What's the most important thing? The most important thing is know your possible outcomes and how to get out. That holds true outside options as well. It holds true in anything in life. Know the best, worst, and the middle case scenarios and know how to handle that somewhere in between, right? Hope that answered your question, bud. Please, if there's a follow-up, hey, send me the voicemail. And if you're in the chat and you send me a voicemail, let me know. Robin, I've dated fat and skinny girls. They've all been wonderful. Matthew, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Financial freedom it's sick. There's so many cool things in the path to financial freedom. Grant Sabatier wrote a great book. It's behind me, but I think when we're in debt, we think debt freedom is the finish line. It's the start line. I cried tears of joy when I became debt free. Oh my gosh. Tears of joy. You know? And then when JJ said that I can count my real estate, my primary residence in the equity, I found out that I was on paper a millionaire. That was another sick thing, but I wasn't FI, right? But as soon as I did the math and I knew that I had 30 times my annual expenses invested, and as soon as I knew that I had that and my income was still growing and my passive income streams were still growing, it's freedom. It really is. I'll give it like my grandma passed away a couple weeks back. You guys know this. I got 3 days bereavement. After 3 days, I wasn't ready. I was really, really close to my grandma. It brought up a lot of memories with losing my dad. My dad died this time. So it was a lot. And on the 4th day, I have to return back to work, but I'm my own personal health was more important to me. So I took an extra day and I caught some heat at work, but I'm not going to get fired, but it was I was willing to catch that heat knowing that if I did, and that's not putting myself on a pedestal, but that's what being financially free is. I needed one more day with my family and I took it. Like right now, the big financial freedom thing for me is we have to go. My daughter goes to universal pre-K next year, and it's 8:15 to 2:15 in the afternoon. Well, I start work at 7. So it's like I got to find somebody that can commit for like that 2 hours in the morning every day, never get sick, never go on vacation, and then like get them home. So it's like that might be like, oh, wow, I have the opportunity to stay home and not have to deal with that. That's sick. Yeah. So keep working towards financial freedom, man. And make your own financial freedom. Financial freedom is not defined by like what you read in a book. It's like the cliche when they say like, hey dad, when will I know him and love? And he's like, you'll just know. Like financial freedom, although we can paint a number around it, you just know. Because even those times leading up to finding, like when I hit 25 times yearly expenses, and my kids were super young and I wasn't sure like what was going to really happen or how expensive they were going to be, because everyone tells you the kids are the most expensive thing in the world. Even when I hit 25 and every book said that I was FI at 25 times yearly expenses, I still didn't feel it. And I don't even think 30 made me feel it. I think it was more just understanding kids and how much it was going to be and seeing some returns and seeing my passive income streams grow. You'll know. You'll know. Right on. Beer industry is my bag. That's one of the startups I'm working on right now. Han, to answer your question, I definitely want to invest in things that I know and things that I think I can give value to beyond money. So, like, I have like retail experience. I'm very good customer service, people, the brewing industry. I want to be able to give money and value. That's like those are the startups that I'm looking at. If I know nothing about the company, I'll tell you like selfishly things that I want to do. Like I want to own a bed and breakfast when I leave. Well, I don't know if I've really even talked about this, but like I really want to own a bed and breakfast. My favorite thing to do is to host and cook breakfast. Sounds ridiculous, but anybody that's ever stayed with me knows this. So my dream is to like have like a country house and in the mountains somewhere that's not even close to anything, and just have really dope reviews for my bed and breakfast, and have people stay and do whatever they're doing, learn about them, have a couple beers in the evening, make them an awesome breakfast, and send them on their way. So that's a startup I really would love to think about as well. Do you really care about the temporary down markets? If you don't need the money right now, if we need the money right now, why is it invested? Yeah, I mean, thanks for the question, Joe. It's definitely true. Like, if I was going to retire, my retirement investment is a lot. I have to worry about like a market correction. Like, granted, like if I'm like I got $1.3 million invested, and I want to retire tomorrow and live off the 4% rule, and it goes down 40%, is 700 going to be okay? I think so, because I think I can adjust my lifestyle, number one. And like I said, I also make sure that when I leave my W-2 job, I am going to have at least 1 year's living expenses in cash, liquid. So if I retired and then boom, next day we lose 30%, I'm going to live off cash. And this is going to sound even more ridiculous, but I'm going to live off margin if I need to in that case. Like M1 Finance is giving me 2% on my money. It's tax-free income, essentially. Especially with inflation, that 2% in interest means absolutely nothing. So like these are things I think about. Like, all right, if the markets tank, I have 1 year where I don't need to touch my investments for them to come back. Will they come back to full 40? Maybe not. Maybe they come back 20%. Maybe they come back 10%. Maybe they don't come back at all. Okay, cool. I'm going to borrow 20 grand from M1 Finance at 2% to get me by for a couple months or a year. Not to mention, all my passive income streams are not going to stop. So down markets, like for those of you that have been investing for a while, and when I say, no, actually, for those of you that are new to investing, how much do you think about even the March COVID thing? Like if you were investing regularly and you had liquid cash, like how good would you be right now? Like I was still battling debt, so I didn't invest during that time. And I'm like, damn it. If I would have been debt free just a little bit earlier, or like even I'm in my 40s. I talk to so many young guns here, and they're in their 20s and stuff like that. Like if I graduated high school in 2000, even if I didn't get right in then, but maybe I learned about it in college and I started investing in like 202. Oh my God. So there's like a part of me that wants that little piece. I think we were talking, what it go? It went 2000 to 2008. The market stayed flat. I don't know if I want 8-9 years. No, I think it was 99 to 2008. The markets stayed the same. Like, I don't know if I want 8 years. I'll be honest. But I'll take 3. I'll take 3. That would be sick. And I know people don't want to hear that, but it's like, that would be sick. 20%. Oh my God. If I woke up tomorrow and I had a busy morning at work and I finished second period and it was 9:40 and I got back to my office at 9:40 and like I had 14 missed texts from JJ and I look on and VTI is down 30%. Oh my God. I'm probably gonna go in and take the rest of the day off. Go in and see my department chair. Excuse me. I know I just got here and it's third period, but I gotta go. And he's gonna be like, "Oh, you saw the markets?" And I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling that good." Meanwhile, inside my brain, I'm thinking, "Oh my God, I gotta go find money right now." Oh, student loans suck. I think student loans really suck if you don't use your degree. What up, Ryan? Thank you for your continued support, buddy. Ryan, I don't know if you noticed, I deactivated Instagram as a part, Twitter this week as a part of my social media free 2022. I don't consider YouTube social media, so Insta's the only one left. And gosh, in the 4 days I've been off Twitter, I am so happy. I don't know how you can go on Twitter and not just be so upset when you get off or just want to like argue. Oh my gosh. So, Ryan, I know you're a huge supporter of me over there on Twitter, but I had to get out. I want to know nobody on social media. You guys, my real ones know where y'all can find me. Aaron Azevedo, what's up, buddy? How are you? Jeff's in the house. Hey, whole Discord showed up tonight. There's Robin. Market correction doubt. M1 keeps that margin rate at 2%. Jeff, I agree with you 100%. But if the Fed keeps lowering rates, they might keep them low. But yes, I agree with you. That 2% margin with M1 that everyone boasts about, including myself, is variable. It's not a fixed 2%, which is another reason why I haven't dabbled in it yet. John, to be honest, I have no idea what that is. An IUL? Maybe I don't know the acronym. What's it stand for? Christopher, thanks for the question, man. I mean, I can sound cliche and be like, try my course. But I'm in the process of writing an ebook that condenses my course into like a 50 or 60 page PDF ebook for those people that like to write and hold things. But I think if you're new to options, start building up to 100 shares. You can't really do anything until you have 100 shares, whether that's actually 100 shares of a stock or enough cash to buy it. So it's really that simple. You get 100 shares. If you have 100 shares, look into the wheel strategy and look into writing covered calls. Go to my main channel. I have my course essentially. I condense down and abbreviate a little bit, and like I have like a 2-hour video on options on my main channel. So you could check that out as well. I think it's 2 hours. Maybe it's like 90 minutes. But start there and then keep asking questions. If you dollar cost average from 99 to 2008 and owned dividend stocks, you'd be up. Oh, the dividend guys. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Never had Twitter. Yeah, not Twitter. Yeah, but you're in Facebook. Oh, gosh. Facebook. Yeah. Did I get to the bottom of the chat already? Look at me. I'm killing it. We're going to be in and out tonight. Do us a favor. People in the chat, smash that like button. Yes. Thank you. Smash the like. Anybody got a startup? What's a startup? Hun, you doing a startup, bro? for all the people from the average money community, I put up Christmas lights and a Christmas tree. It's a big step for me. I still can't get over this Smith & Wesson thing, guys. I can't get over it. 20%? It's 20%? Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Run, John, run. Run. Was he? No, Chris. Is John the one that asked? Run. That's all I got to say. I do not give financial advice except never have whole life insurance. That's the only. Hey, the Zetas. 1 minute you can write in the chat. Thank you for subscribing. Guys, universal life insurance is the biggest scam in all of money. Prove me wrong. I've made videos about it. They don't get any views. JJ and I did a full episode about it. Here's the long story. Short. If you're being pitched universal life insurance, aka whole life insurance, tell the guy to tell you give the broker, the guy that's going to make all the money off of you, the retirement that you're going to be paying into. Ask him to tell you the benefits without mentioning that it's an investment opportunity. Because insurance is not a fucking investment. Sorry for the cursing. It's not an investment. Sorry for the cursing. That's how angry this makes me. If you said to this person, I just lost 3 people because I dropped the F-bomb. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. I'm an adult. I'm 40 years old. If they can pitch to you whole life insurance without mentioning that it's an investment vehicle, all right, keep listening. But if you tell them to pitch it without mentioning that it's an investment vehicle, they got nothing. They got nothing. Here's the second pitch. Oh, but if you have term life insurance and you pay that whole time and then the term ends and you die the next day, you get nothing. But if you have whole life and you pay 5 times the premium that you would for term and you die at 90, you get $1 million. What the hell do you need $1 million when you're 90 years old? My response to that is, I want my term life insurance to run out. I'm going to have a term life insurance party, expiration party. That means I lived to an age where nobody needed my money. That's what insurance is. My wife, I probably wouldn't have it. Once my kids don't need my money, what do you need life insurance for? What do you need it for? I want my term to run out. I'm good with money. That gives me the whole length of my term to save up money that when my term runs out, I don't need insurance anymore. If you need whole life insurance, you're bad with money. If you need $1 million insurance at 90 years old, you are bad with money. Yes, I said it. Or you've just never learned about it and you've been scammed. You're the same person that when you go to get your oil change, you end up getting your brakes fixed too. Sorry, John. I get emotional. I get triggered when it's like, let me see. What was the rest of the thing you said? The life insurance invested in the market. Yes. Oh, see, the market. It's a great investment opportunity. No, it's not. Not for the premiums that you pay. I think when I got pitched it, and the guy was like, I just borrowed against my cash value to rebuild my deck. And I remember at the time thinking to myself, wow, you had money to build your deck? 15 years later, I'm thinking to myself, why didn't I just save up money to buy a deck and have term life insurance? And my term life insurance, I think my yearly premium for my term life insurance is the same as was like my monthly whole insurance. Maybe like a little less. Oh, man. John, call that guy and say, no, thank you. And then look into term life insurance. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. And I don't want to smear this entire campaign by giving you an affiliate link. But if you don't, just please ask somebody that knows about investing how bad whole life insurance is. If you think you're going to be crappy with money, maybe it's a good idea. If you're going to be crappy with money and when the term is up, you're not going to have enough money to live off of, then you might as well be one of those people that just invest in whole life insurance. But if you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, you're investing for retirement, you're putting money into your pension, you're investing in broad-based, low-cost market index funds, and you're doing that for 20 years or whatever your term is, you're going to be primo. It's going to be sick with it. Yes. Alex, that's a great question. The conditions don't bother me now. We mentioned this earlier in the podcast. I like where your head's at, but like cashing out, I'm never selling my majority, but I am definitely selling puts. That is that's kind of how I got back into the wheel. The 11 stocks that I have right now, 100 shares of, 7. The 7 that I have, they all started as puts. So yes, Alex, I'm definitely enjoying the crap out of puts right now. Yeah. Donnie, if I could be honest with you, one of my major life regrets is that I drank. Not that because I have a problem, because anytime I've ever gotten in trouble or made a bad decision, alcohol is involved. And my mother was an alcoholic, and she was a functioning alcoholic. She was one of those good ones. When she was getting sick, we talked about drinking and things like that, and towards the end, and she said, Brad, I'll ask you a hypothetical question about drinking. Like your best 3 days of your life and your worst 3 days of your life, which one of those included alcohol? So if you're turning 21, you never had a drink, I'm not like, depends on what kind of personality you are. I'm not a just say no guy. I'm a just say yes, but maybe only once or twice. But if I can go back to 21 and I never had a drink at 21, I probably wouldn't have. It's true. My best 3 days in life, I did not drink. My best 5 probably. My best 5 days ever, didn't drink. Cliche ones. My wife was in there. I got married. I drank that day a lot. But my kids, finishing the Ironman when everyone told me I couldn't. Driving cross country and getting my first job and walking into my first teaching job. Like, worst days, all drinking. VO and VTI, Julian, I consider completely identical, and I use them for the purposes of tax loss harvesting only. Currently, I'm in VTI. If we get a dip, I'm going to go back into VOO. But I could not care. If you put a gun to my head, a prop gun, if you put a prop gun to my head and said pick one, I'm picking VTI because there's still more, right? More is still better than less in that sense. More diversification, more opportunity to cleanse, things like that. I think they're essentially the same price. VOO might be 0.03, which is $1 on 10,000. I don't care. Especially with this market, you look at the top holdings of VOO, which are pretty much identical to VTI, but just at different percentages. So they're both going to get hit if there's a tech or whatever. I don't know. Total stock market. Like if somebody was like, hey, do you want all the stocks or do you want just 500 of them? Like, I want all of them. So that's it. At what point are you going to buy a short-term at-the-money call on SB? So, Jeff, we talked about that in the beginning. I don't own the shares. I have a put out on them. I have a 1750 put. I'm going to be writing an at-the-money put probably tomorrow morning. If it's down pre-market, if Smith & Wesson is down pre-market tomorrow, I'm probably going to wait an hour and see what happens. Like, look to like 10:15 to trade. But there's a very, very, very good chance that you'll see me writing an at the money put tomorrow. To be honest, it might be for 2 weeks. I don't know. I might see, because this is what happened with Peloton, right? It took that huge dumper, and then I was like, it can't go down anymore. And then it did, because I'm an idiot, right? So I might, if it's like in the red tomorrow and I get to that point where I'm like, 40%, it can't go down anymore, I might push it 2 weeks out. Just because as soon as I write that put, it's gonna go down another 5%. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have to roll it. I'm gonna have to roll it out and do all that stuff. I don't feel like it. Christopher, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate it. We're gonna get to 100,000 effing subscribers soon. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Absolutely erroneous. So thank you for the support. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. And if anybody else has 4,000 friends, tell them to subscribe as well. Kenny, what's up, buddy? Thank you. I guess it's funny. I've been kicked off live streams for cursing. I don't know if it's the New York of me or just if I don't care or if it's the liquid. I was just, if you're on my Instagram, I had to take that down. My lawyer called me. He's like, Brad, I think I took it down at like 11 o'clock last night. Yeah, my lawyer called me. He's like, Brad, you have to take that down immediately. And of course, I was like, the Rangers were raging. I was having a grand old Saturday. I was like, no, F them. He's like, Brad, take that post down immediately and hope that nobody screenshotted it. But I followed it up with, sorry, that's just the way I talk. It really is. Sorry. I apologize for the language. I've been on like live streams with like some people down the Bible Belt there, and even Jay doesn't like I mean, he'll curse occasionally, but they don't as much as me. I really think of it as regular old language. Oh yeah, back to the insurance. Yeah, term, yeah. Party on bars. Whoa, you mean I don't have to buy $30 windshield wipers? Exactly. Exactly. If you're buying windshield wipers at every oil change, that means that you're probably, they can talk you into whole life insurance. They really, really can. You didn't realize you weren't subbed on this one. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice. I think this channel won't be monetized for like 3 more months. So thank you for the sub. We need to get to 1,000 and 4,000 hours. I think I'm at half the hours. So I knew this wouldn't get done. I mean, I knew I wouldn't get monetized because I knew people wouldn't watch it outside on Sundays. So not a big deal. Yeah, Donnie, man, go out, have a couple beers. Stop when you start to feel buzzed. Average Joe, yeah, I'm a 4-time Ironman. I am a 6-time 70.3, and used to own a triathlon business. Yeah, I will be doing Ironman next year. I have a couple really big endurance races on the docket for next year, capping off with what I think is going to be the Hood to Coast in Oregon, from Mount Hood to Seaside, 193 miles. August 18th, I think that is. I'm doing that. I'm running 40 miles for my 40th birthday in March. Doing the Ironman. Doing that big relay. Zachary Pope, what's up, buddy? You can now write in the chat in 1 minute's time. So yeah, Ironman, let's go. 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and then a nice smooth marathon to the finish. The clear fluid in the front or the red in the back? Can you explain tax loss harvesting? Yes. I'll try and explain it simply. If you can reach out to me, if this is like too little, leave a voicemail and I'll make it a real video next week. I have a video on the main channel. It is unlisted because it's old and frankly, like production quality, like that's not what I wanted to present. And I always wanted to remake this video. Frankly, I'm waiting for another dip to make this video. So I'm not like avoiding it. It's something to know, but one of those things you don't need to know unless you're in the moment. And it's also something that it's like a little bit like in the spreadsheet. It's a little bit like too nerding out. But here's the long and short of tax loss harvesting and how I would use VOO and VTI. If you have a cost basis here, and then the stock plummets, to here. If you sell, you get a capital loss, which lowers your net capital gain loss for the year. But you're not allowed to buy back into that particular stock or ETF in a certain time period after you sell, because that's called the wash rule, right? I can't sell on a dip and then take that investment right back and say, oh, I just bought it, so now my cost basis is here. No, the IRS is smarter than that. So if you're here and you sell and you take that capital loss, the IRS says you need to wait a few months before you buy that back again if you want to keep this lower basis. So if you sold here, if you bought here and this was your basis, it dipped. Every time I say dip, I think of that song. It's like, I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. I'm showing my age. If it's here and then it dives down to here, and if you want to keep that capital loss, you have to not get that back. You're here, comes to here, you sell, buy back, your basis goes back up there. That's the wash rule. So we eliminate the wash rule. Thank you, Bennett. Yeah, 30 days. I wasn't sure if it was 30 or 60, so I didn't want to speak out of pocket. Yeah, 30 days. Isn't it like 30 days before or after? Whatever. I always think 60 days just to be safe. But here's the thing. You can avoid the wash rule if you buy something that is similar but not exactly the same thing. This happens a lot with ETFs and even stocks. Like, I think, don't quote me on this, but like Apple, Microsoft, like those are very similar, but they're completely different stocks. So if you had a basis here in Apple and you didn't own Microsoft and they both dipped 40% and you thought of them as equal companies, you could sell off your Apple, buy Microsoft, and you just lowered your basis and took an amazing capital loss. Awesome sauce. That's great. Stocks is a little bit more shady, okay? But I was blown away when I found out, and to my knowledge, this has not changed, blown away when I found out that the IRS does not consider VOO and VTI similar enough to qualify for the wash rule. We know that they're exactly the same thing, essentially, but one is a total stock market with 3,500 plus companies in it, with a different dividend and everything, and one is the S&P 500. So the IRS considers them completely different, although they perform identically almost. So when I mentioned that before with VOO, I had VOO. Then we had a COVID dip. Put my hand up on your hip. We had a COVID dip. 30% is like, I wouldn't consider this anything under 30%. It's not worth your time. More than 30%, I sell all my VOO. I go over and I buy VTI and I lower that basis. Now, if the share price is here and it dips to here, but your basis is already down here, that shit doesn't matter because you're still at a capital gain. So it depends on where your basis is. So tax loss harvesting is essentially, tax loss harvesting, SPY, VTI is fair game. Robert, I am not a CPA, but first glance, yes. Different. Now, is SPY a 500 or is SPY a total market? It's a 500, isn't it? Like, I think VOO and SPY, those I think are similar. If SPY is 500. Hold on, is SPY 500? I'm going to get this right here. You guys probably answer faster, but yeah, SPY is a 500. So if you had SPY and you went to VOO, that's going to be a wash rule. They're both S&P 500 indexes. SPY to VTI, you're getting yourself a nice tax loss harvest. So, like I said, the reason I haven't made a video about it is because I want to do it and show it in real time. I don't want to speak hypothetically about doom and gloom. The other thing is, like, for it to be really worth your time, you're looking at 30% below your basis. At least 30% for it to be really worth it to me for my time. Average Joe, have a good night, buddy. Thank you so much for stopping in. Check out his channel, guys. Average Joe Investor. I'm not a spokesman, but I vouch for that channel. Ooh, Joe, oh man, I gotta get in touch with him about ultras. Hard to train with kids. Just don't train. Just get out there and buck up. Buck up, buck up. Had you bought any Chinese stock like me during, you'd be extremely well versed in selling velocities. Yeah, Kenny, I avoided them. If Mr. Bennett's still in the room, last year we dabbled with Neo, and I kind of went with it because I trusted him and he was right. And it was everything, all the speculation we had, some of those things came true, some of them didn't, but I think that was the first time I was introduced to like the fear of a Chinese company. And I'm not even saying Neo shit now. I'm just using that example, like the first time I ever thought about it. And the Baba thing is very, very real with me, where if it wasn't a Chinese company, I think it's an amazing value. And to be honest, I still think it's an amazing value, but it's like, what are you willing to put up with? Like, is Baba such a good investment that you're willing to risk it? Will the Chinese mess with them? Probably not. But like, the fact that they can, that just makes it not worth it to me. There's others. If Baba was the only value stock in the whole universe, I would care more about Baba. But it's not. So like, yeah. And my best friend in this industry, JJ Buckner, Baba fanboy, give him the flag. My financial advisor, Aaron Azevedo, he is a Baba fanboy. I'm not opposed to it. It's one of those things, like, if you go to sleep worrying about it, is it worth it? I think anybody that owns Baba and you bring up the Chinese thing, they'll at least go, I don't know. I don't really think. It's unlikely. Nobody's going to be like, nope, not concerned about that Chinese thing in Baba at all. I don't care. 0%. Doesn't affect me. You're not going to hear that. I know. And to be honest with you, good, I'm glad you are here. The thing with Neo is like it might have been overvalued then. It might be a good value now. Benny, you still buying Baba? I mean Neo? I know you close your positions a little bit because you were buying a house and you want to be a little more liquid cash. Are you still looking at the Neo? You don't have to say if you don't want to. I've not heard of Zim. Huge dividends, don't know much about it. So then stay away. Anything over, I think dividends over 5% I avoid anyway. So about SWBI, we've talked about Smith & Wesson a bunch tonight. I'll read your question, but you might have to go back and look earlier tonight. They missed their EPS, the supply, the financials. Their financials look the best they haven't been 2 years. We've talked about SBI tonight, Zach. They compared their numbers to last year when everyone needed a gun or wanted a gun because they weren't sure what the hell was going on with the political thing, the corona thing, like all these things. So, like, I think they had a good year last year, and I think this year is more of a normal year for them. I think they're a great value. I'm going to be writing puts on them tomorrow. I don't think their earnings call is bad. I don't. Yeah, Robin, the thing, like, it's not even like investing outside the U.S. that scares me. It's just, not to sound cliche, but what Warren Buffett said, invest in what you know. I don't know anything about the foreign markets really, and I don't know enough about the Chinese regulation and what that could do. Like, frankly, all I know is what I hear, and I hear like, the Chinese, they could stop that. Jeff, you're a fanboy. See, like, everyone likes, maybe I'm the idiot. But then again, I'm okay with being the idiot when it comes to Baba. If Baba, like, skyrockets into the freaking universe and the people in my Discord win, they know I'm going to clap for him and just tell them to buy me a beer, maybe. I'm never going to be jealous or mad. Like, I don't care. Shibu Inu millionaires. Good for you, man. That was not a risk I was willing to take. It's like those guys that freaking wingsuit. I just clap. I'm like, dude, that was probably awesome. I am not willing to take that risk. I want that feeling so bad, but I'm not willing to take that risk. When I was 20 years old, I could go anywhere in the world and drop in on the biggest bowl you could ever. I'd go to Jackson Hole and go into the backcountry and drop into any bowl in the world. Not anyone in the world. There's probably some really good ones. But now I'm like, I'm going to stay on my blue square. I just do not need to take that risk anymore. Christmas lights today, I haven't been on a roof in a while. I used to be a roofer. Not used to be a roofer, but I worked a couple summers as a roofer. I was sketched up there on the roof today. And if I don't know, it's an old thing. Like I didn't fear for my life. I was just like, whoa, this is sus. I mean, I used to climb ladders and climb trees like it was crazy. Today I'm like, I got the Christmas lights. I wasn't even thinking about it. I got halfway up the thing. I'm like, oh my God, this is sketchy up here. This is sketchy as hell. So that's how I feel about Baba. Like I want to win with you guys. I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready to take the shot. 400 shares in the Roth IRA. Sweet, man. Thank you for sharing. Are you writing calls on those? What's your favorite? Wait, what is your more favorable option trade? Covered calls or cash puts? I've done videos on this, Lynn. It depends on the situation, right? Here's the simpleness of that. If I'm happy with the price right now, today, and I have the money to write a put or money to buy 100 shares, I'm happy with the price. Maybe we have a dividend coming up and it's a green day, so I'm going to be able to write a call. I'm going to write the call. I'm going to buy the shares and write the call first. If the share price is kind of a little bit too high for me and I don't mind it, and maybe we just pass the next dividend date, so I have a whole quarter before I have to worry about a dividend, so maybe I'll write like a 1 month put. I'll write a put. If I want the shares at a lower price, I'll write the put. Now you take the risk of being like, I want them at $40 and it's currently at 42 and then it goes up to 48 and you're like, shit, I should have bought it at 42 and wrote the calls. But I mean, that's it. It's very, very situational. It really is. I mean, I know people that argue for the covered call because you get to take advantage of the capital gain. Yeah, like when it was at 42, if you bought it and it went up to 48, you were probably writing at a good enough delta where you were able to protect yourself. But then again, that doesn't mean you should overbuy a stock. If it's $42 and you want it at 40, don't pay $42 for it. Write the put. And if it goes up to 48, then it's just more overvalued than you thought it just was. Unless some amazing news came out and raises the fair value of that, then buy it at 48. You know what I'm saying? Lynn, it's a great question. But it's very like just debatable. It could go either way. $400, yes. How good is that? 457. Damn. It's this good. It's this good. It's a Sunday and I got to work tomorrow, but I'm still going to do shots of whiskey. It's that good. That's how good the 457 is. Robin, if you can't clap, right? Yeah, it's 100%. If you can't clap when people win, that's bad. When it's green, I ride them. It's a good idea. It's a good play. With that shot of whiskey, guys, it's been about an hour. Got to get upstairs. I've been binging 60 days in. Does Vanguard let you sell secure? Yeah, you can write puts. I mean, you can write calls and you can sell options in your. If you have applied and you have options capabilities, yeah, you can trade options in your Roth. I mean, it's on a you can't like do margin things, but if you have 100 shares or something. This is one thing about the Roth, though. I don't personally do it because I don't write inside my Roth, but you can't write calls on mutual funds. So if you're starting your Roth now and you plan on writing calls and you want to be heavily invested in broad-based, low-cost market index funds, buy VTI, not VTSAX, because you won't be able to write calls on VTSAX. Clay, I don't think I know one. Actually, no, Clay, I am incorrect. My favorite stock under $10 is Vuzi. Vuzi. Recently under $10. Any other quick questions, guys? To the 45 of you, please smash the like button. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We have a couple more weeks before Christmas, so I will be back, barring major circumstances, next week. Please know that I genuinely appreciate you. That is not bullshit. If you want to jump in, if you're in the chat and it feels like a bunch of people in here are all on the same page, they're all my Discord members. I don't need to tell you the value. They'll go ahead and tell you the value of that if you want to try out Discord. It's early in the month, so even if you hate it, you're at least going to get 1 month, most of the month, at a pretty good price. And I promise you'll make. I'm not going to promise you. There's a very good chance you'll make your $20 back in the first month. So try it out. Especially if this was like the 19th of the month, I'd be like, wait on the Discord. But if you got the feeling in the chat tonight, like there's a lot of people in here that know each other, we're all on the same team. We got a really, really strong team going. Really, really strong team going. Thank you, Luciano. Yeah, how to calculate the fair value of a stock. Definitely appreciate that. Head over to the main channel. It's hard, like notifications. I know they don't always go out, guys, but and I also know that I'm not super consistent with posting videos. Just check my channel every once in a while in case you missed a notification or in case I released a video at a weird time or something like that. Yeah, I love clipping things from this, but I think tonight I'll probably clip the hedging video and we'll get some other ones on the channel. But right now, I got to be honest, I'm waiting. I have a lot of sponsored videos coming up. Sorry, I got to eat, and I'm trying to save up for daycare. But I have to wait for approval on those. So there's going to be lots of videos, but definitely a wheel video this week. Wheel strategy video. If you are not subscribed, look for that video. Or if you are subscribed, look for that video before Thursday on the wheel strategy. What else we got? Some other stuff just came in. If you don't make your money back, it's because you didn't ask any questions. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Take it easy. Enjoy your week. Be positive. Thank somebody that didn't expect you to thank them for something. Cheers, guys.